Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Jack Nichol Show, episode 6. So, last episode I told you that we're going to be talking a little bit more about Suicide Squad and a little bit more about Star Wars Rogue One, and then we have some WWE to talk. So, Suicide Squad comes out August 5th. I am really excited for it. Like I said, at first I was really questionable and worried for it. But I have full faith that it's going to be awesome. It's really going to set up the tone for the DC cinematic universe the way Batman v Superman failed to, because so many people were disappointed with that movie. I think Suicide Squad is going to make a lot of people happy. And it's diving into a huge fan base, but it's also, with the music and the personality of the characters and the looks, it's just going to draw in such a huge fan base from all over. Like, people who didn't even know who the Suicide Squad are going to go see this movie because it looks so cool, and people are going to start dressing like these characters, and Halloween's going to be covered in Suicide Squad characters, so that's going to be crazy. And like I said, really cool. Like, trust me, it's gotten to me. I've thought tons of times of dressing up like the Jared Leto Joker, but I sweat a lot, I'm already pale, and don't know how well I can draw damage on my forehead. That's one of the biggest things. And you know that hand tattoo he has there in the mouth, smiling? That'd be pretty awesome to see. I've seen lots of great cosplays of it. I've seen a couple cool ones in person. There's a lot of great ones online too. So like I was saying in the last episode, Deadshot's going to be awesome. Killer Croc's going to be pretty cool as well. Captain Boomerang, all those kind of guys. Rick Flag, Diablo. I think Harley Quinn's going to be awesome too. I love the baseball bat. Even the mallet too is very Harley Quinn. The costume is kind of like a mix of how she looked in the Suicide Squad comic mixed with an even sluttier version of her Arkham versions, but even still at the same time, I don't hate it. I think it could be a lot worse. I would have liked to have seen the Jester version, but if you don't 100% like this Harley Quinn look and you don't like her portrayal in the movie or anything, don't worry, at some point we're bound to get a second one. Almost every movie that's flopped their characters in the first one, there's a reboot later on that casts someone's new and they knock it out of the park. Examples, Deadpool, Green Lantern. Wait a minute. So that's what I have to say about that. If you're not happy with Margot Robbie's portrayal as Harley Quinn, I think she's going to be great. Now we're going to get into Star Wars Rogue One. So Star Wars Rogue One takes place in between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope. So it's a prequel to number 7 that we just saw, and takes place before the original trilogy. It's about like the rebels trying to get the plans for the Death Star, similar to like how A New Hope starts. It's going to be a war movie, I think. We're going to see all these new characters that we've never seen before. We're going to see some old friends or foes like Darth Vader here. Yes, this is the Black Series Darth Vader made by Hasbro. They should start paying me for promoting their figures so much now. It's a very cool figure, by the way, and we are going to see this guy in the movie, which is really cool. I'm excited to see what they do with him, how much he's in of it. I think he's going to be in quite a lot, if you ask me, because I just don't know who's playing him yet. I would have loved to see Hayden Christensen come back and reprise the role, and James Earl Jones is probably most 100% likely doing the voice, which is awesome. So it could be anyone in that suit, though. So Hayden Christensen, if you hate him, he's not doing the voice or anything. He's just going to be in that costume, and that would have been cool to see, but I'm sure it isn't him. And I feel like he's not acting anymore. He's just doing modeling or something. So seeing him come back for the role he's most loved and most hated for would be a shock. But I think it'd be really cool. We also have the Elite Series General Grievous here. I just wanted to throw in something else Star Wars related. Grievous will not be in, obviously, because he sadly died in Revenge of the Sith. But he's a cool character. So like I was saying about Rogue One, so there's this new girl who's going to be our main protagonist, who I feel like she's going to turn to the dark side at the end of it. the quotes and the dialogue and stuff in that trailer for Rogue One made me think she is not going to stay good for very long. I don't know if she's going to turn to a Sith, a bounty hunter, something for the Imperial forces. Who knows? But just something about it and her costume just doesn't seem like she's going to stay good. Now, if you were wondering, I went with kind of a casual Friday outfit today with a Tommy Bahama shirt. I thought I'd switch it up. Still button up, still dressy and everything. It's just got these flowers and it's a little less subtle and everything like the others. Getting back to Rogue One though, so I don't think we won't see any Skywalkers and everything. We won't see Kenobis or anyone like that. It's all going to be these new characters. The only familiar faces you're going to see, Darth Vader and some Stormtroopers. And I think we're going to see a lot of Stormtroopers. And we're going to see some really cool ones too, some new ones like Dark Troopers or Death Troopers or whatever they are. Those all black ones that look really cool with the different helmets. And now we have these like shore troopers. So I guess we're going to have like a beach battle, which I believe you see at the end of the trailer with the AT-ATs walking. That part looks really cool and really awesome. My problem with that is I hate in every time they do it in Star Wars, I really dislike when they put AT-AT walkers in different environments. I consider those just Hoth, just only on Hoth. That's the only time I want to see them, think about them. But they consistently decide to throw them on these other planets and have the Imperial forces using them. And I really don't like that. Couldn't they make up something new, or just the two-legged ones from Return of the Jedi would have been good on that beach area? I don't know, that's just my 2 cents. Also, too, apparently Disney wasn't very happy with the first showing of Rogue One or something like that, I heard. So that makes me wonder how much of it they're going to change. I think they're just pretty much upset because it's going to be something completely different. Because like they said, when number 7 was being made, they wanted to take Star Wars to new heights and do things we've never seen before. I think that's going to be the same with number 8. It's not... I just want everything to feel like Star Wars, you know? When I come up with like Star Wars stories in my head, they are fucking awesome, but then sometimes I'm like, it doesn't feel like Star Wars. It just has the characters and the weapons and stuff. It just doesn't feel like I'm talking about Star Wars, you know? WWE Draft is this coming Tuesday, the 19th of July. And so we're going to have the SmackDown going live, and we're going to have a draft to see who goes to Raw, who goes to SmackDown. They haven't done this in a couple years now, so that's exciting to see. I always loved the draft nights when I used to watch Raw every Monday night, see who was going to which show, and I'd always pray if they got sent to SmackDown or whatever, or even when they included ECW, I think at one point or something, I was like, oh God, I don't have the ECW channel. I hope my favorites still stay on Raw or SmackDown. Luckily, they did every time. And the only times where my favorites did get traded, it was like in a good way. It was like, oh, awesome, I'll go watch SmackDown for a really good reason now, or Raw, etc. Because I started off like a SmackDown because Rey Mysterio was my favorite when I caught wrestling really big. Now, I'd watched it before and everything, but for some reason, back in 2003, it just stuck with me hard. Rey Mysterio was awesome, and even now, I'm still talking to you about wrestling. So we got that coming up on Tuesday. And speaking of Rey Mysterio, I hope he comes back. I guess I could have had a Rey Mysterio mask or had them laid out on the table here, or wore one. Now I'm just thinking about that. I think Rey Mysterio will come back. I've heard a couple things that WWE doesn't want him back, probably because of his consistent injuries. But I think he's a good choice for someone to bring back for this Raw draft. I think whether he's on Raw or SmackDown, it'd be really cool to see him back. Just like how I thought, Kurt Angle would be really awesome. I can't see it happening. I think Goldberg's going to make some kind of appearance, even if it's just like a Batista or a Rock move to promote the new video game, like how Batista and Rock promote their movies. We could even see Batista come back. Guardians of the Galaxy 2 isn't out for a while, but he could come and ride the roster till he has to go promote that movie at the premieres and stuff. I could see that happen. But he does seem to want to mostly focus on his acting career. Same with The Rock. I can't see The Rock coming back. He might make, if this episode is really special, I can see The Rock making an appearance, but he's not going to be on one of the shows. He's just going to be considered a Raw superstar or whatever. I think there's a good chance Finn Balor might come either on the Monday or the Tuesday or the following Monday. I think it's about time, and enough time has passed in the last bit that he is going to be called up to the main roster. they might have him show up at Battleground and attack John Cena. I thought about that too. So that's a big chance, but there's all kinds of people on NXT too that I think might get the call up. I feel like Finn might be, maybe Bayley. Maybe Bayley's going to be Sasha Banks' partner for the tag team match at Battleground. Who knows? There's all kinds of people they could pull up. Like, I would love to see Samoa Joe on the main roster. That would be fucking awesome. So that's pretty much how I feel about that. But it's, like I said, it's all going to be, we're not going to know till the night of, because we're going to see probably like a flashing screen of all the superstars. They might leave a couple out, so there's some surprises. I'm hoping it's a night of surprises. I don't want it to be like, oh, John Cena's on Raw, oh, AJ Styles goes to SmackDown, and it's just like all people who are already there, because yes, that's what's going to happen, but I want to see some returns or something at least. Maybe this is when Roman Reigns is going to come back. I know he only got suspended for 30 days, I think, and I don't know how long it's been, actually, but we know he returns on Sunday for his Battleground pay-per-view match, so I'm wondering if we'll see him before that, because the draft will be a good time to bring him back. That's pretty much all I wanted to say about the draft. I guess we'll get into WWE Battleground now. The main event for that Sunday is Dean Ambrose, the champion currently, versus Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns. I don't know if this match is going to be good or not. I know it's going to be exciting because anytime you get the three of them together, it's good. It's the former Shield fighting against each other. When they fought each other at, I believe it was Payback 2015, with Orton in the match too, that was amazing. When they ganged up on him and then they betrayed Rollins. I thought that was great. Will we see something like that this time? I don't think so, because I don't know who... Dean Ambrose is a face. Seth Rollins is supposed to be a heel, but he's so over with the crowd. And Roman Reigns is supposed to be somewhere in the middle, but he's booed by everyone. So I don't know what they're going to do with them. I don't know who's going to win. I feel like Seth is probably going to win the title back because he had to give it up. I feel like Dean, I'm so happy he's the champion. Dean Ambrose is awesome, but I can't see him keeping the title for that much longer. I just think it's the way they're going to write it off. So then we have Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens, the Battle of the Canadians. I'm going to take a guess. Kevin Owens will win this one. This will be their first big pay-per-view match, I think. And I think Kevin Owens will win this one. Sami Zayn will win the later one. Because Kevin Owens has been being a bitch on the shows, and usually when they do something like that, they usually get the first win in a set of trio matches or something for pay-per-views. So I think he'll win the first one. So then we got Cena, Enzo, and Big Cass versus the Bullet Club, or the Club. And if they were doing, I don't know. I feel like Cena's going to win. I feel like Cena's team's going to win. Cena wins a lot. We all know that. But I can see them losing because maybe Finn shows up or someone else shows up or just some kind of interference. I think AJ could actually beat him there. I'm kind of torn with it. I'm going to go with John. I think my money's on John. We'll check predictions after this actually all happens. So then we got Becky versus Natalya. Becky's been on a roll, but so is Natalya. So I think I'm going to go with Becky on this one. I am not certain. I feel like that's going to be a really good technical match. That'll be fun. And then we got The Miz versus Darren Young with, who's Darren Young's trainer, apparently? Bob Backlund or whatever. I think Darren Young could win his first belt now. Actually, he was tag team champ, I believe, for a bit. Yeah, with Titus, I believe. I feel like he'll win his first solo belt against The Miz. The Miz has been Intercontinental Champion many times. Darren Young has not. So I think this is their big chance to give him the belt. Then we got Rusev versus Ryder. Obviously, Rusev. We are just, as I mentioned, the matches, we just get worse and worse down the card. This will be a terrible match. I don't care if you like Zack Ryder or not. He's not that great. Rusev isn't that great either, but Rusev's going to kill him. It's just going to happen. So then we got the New Day versus the Wyatt family. I feel like the New Day is going to win in some crafty way. The Wyatt family is still scary, but they've been less threatening and less strong competitively in the last couple months, and like in the last year even. They've been like weaker, it seems, than when they first debuted, and it was like, oh my god. So I think the New Day could win in some creative way, if you ask me. Like some kind of weird way, whether they use trumpets or something. I feel like they're going to have some creative way to beat the Wyatt family, and I think it'll be really cool. And then the last match, the first one most likely, is a tag team match with Sasha Banks and an unknown partner versus Charlotte and... fuck. I can't think of who Charlotte's partner is right now. Maybe it's not announced, but I'm pretty sure it is. Maybe that's why I'm drawing a blank right now. I know Sasha's partner is to be announced, so they'll probably reveal that on this Raw or on the Tuesday episode of SmackDown. Something like that. I'm sure they'll reveal who it is. I don't know who it's going to be. I don't know if it'll be one of the Bellas returning or something like that, or Paige, or maybe somebody new. Maybe it'll be someone from NXT, maybe they'll bring up somebody and we'll see Sasha and her B team. I can see that. I can see them bringing up like someone like Bayley or somebody up on the Tuesday episode, and then we see Sasha come out on Battleground and announce who her partner is, and it's obviously Bayley because she just got pulled up, and no one's gonna be like, oh my god, what's an NXT person doing here? Did you watch the draft? That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking it's more likely to be someone like that rather than someone returning. We're not going to see like a Lita or Trish Stratus or Maria or somebody awesome like that return. It's going to be someone from NXT, or it's going to be someone from the current roster who's just been injured or on the sidelines, like not in any storylines, just making a comeback. It would be really... I think she's still part of the roster. I know she just had the baby and everything, but it would be really fucked up if it was a waste and it was like Rosa Mendez or something. That's everything for today's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We talked about Suicide Squad, which we'll talk more about in future episodes. We're going to talk about Rogue One as the movie gets closer. We're going to keep talking about action figure updates. Comic-Con is really soon, like I said, people. Be sure to check into the WWE Draft happening this Tuesday at 8 p.m., I believe. It might be 3 hours, might only be 2. I do not remember. I know it's going to be great. If you're out that night or got plans, PVR, you won't want to miss it. Stay off social media in case any big returns happen. Like I always tell people, if you don't want something spoiled, stay off the internet, social media, all kinds of websites like that. Even Facebook, people post and share articles that spoil so many things. Just ask Game of Thrones fans. So, thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time. Jack out.